Okay, welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is still your weekend. And if you've been following this program, we have been celebrating, talking, advocating peace, living together in peace. And to continue in that line, we have somebody very special. Let me warn you, if you are somebody that gets weak in the presence of beauty, then you be one because I am one. Okay, guess who I have in the studio? She's a beautiful lady. She was once Miss World UN. That is in 2022. She will be telling us what that is all about. She is a peace conveyor. She is of the president of IFB, Family World Family Initiative conveyor of Global Advocate of Peace. And that too, she'll be telling us all what that is all about. And her name is Hadassah Alaputa. It's good to have you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, where do we really start? Yes, I introduced you as being a queen. You won Miss World United Nations, and that was in 2022.
2019 to 2022.
2019 to 2022. It ran for those years.
Yes,
Please
exactly.
tell us all about that.
Okay, and my name is Hadassah Ibiyingi Gloria Alaputa, and I was Miss World United Nations 2019 to 2022, where I, first of all, emerged as Miss Nigeria United Nations, yeah, in 2017. So I had to represent Nigeria at the international stage where we had over 61 countries that participated, from different continents of the world, and I won as Miss World United Nations.
What makes that different from the conventional Miss pageant? What makes this one different?
Okay, one of the different is it's inclusive.
Okay.
We have different categories. We have the Mrs. category and a Mr. category.
Wow.
Together, so it's not a separate pageant. And then one other significant thing about it is that it's a non-bikini pageant, so you don't have to expose yourself,
Wow.
during the pageant. And they're actually environmental protection project. So it's basically what you have to give back to the society.
Okay.
Yeah, it's focused on that.
Interesting. I'm privileged to be here with you. And
Yes,
I
sir.
would like to know more because we are talking peace on today's episode of the program. Every 16th May is being commemorated worldwide as, a day of living together in peace. Okay, and there's this cliche, I don't want to call it a cliche, but it's popular. We are saying that peace is the new pretty. Tell us more about that.
Well, of course, without peace, there is no development. Peace is everybody's business. When there is no peace, there is no unity. When there is peace, there is stability. When there is no peace, everywhere is unstable. In fact, fear, insecurity, and you know that even the farmers cannot go to farm,
Yeah, that affects a lot.
children cannot go to school, and investors cannot invest in an environment that is unstable.
Yeah.
So peace is something that is so important for everybody. And peace is not just a man's thing. You know the way they say, give the man peace at home. Peace is for
The man needs
everybody.
peace at home.
Yes, as well as children also need peace at home,
Exactly.
as well as the women to also need peace. So
Yeah.
it's everybody. Everybody needs peace. Like it's everybody's business.
Okay, let's talk about using, when you hear about pageantry, the first thing that comes to your mind, beauty, the crown, pet projects, and all that. How did you use, or how are you using your experience as a former queen to promote peace?
Okay, so interestingly, I was born on the World Peace Day. United Nations Day for Peace is on the 21st of September every year. Yeah, even if we're celebrating this International Day living together in peace. But the United Nations Day for Peace at the UN calendar is on the 21st of September, and that happens to be the day I was born. So that is a divine coincidence for me, and I see it as a very serious calling to preach the gospel of peace to mankind. And when I won the Miss World United Nations, I came back to Nigeria. Although this has always been what has been on my mind, like what I want to achieve. But we're looking at peace from the family point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we came up with our own pageant. Our pageant is family-oriented and is family-friendly. So where we have the mother, the father, the teenagers, the children, and then the grandma and grandpa. Have you ever seen a pageant that have grandma and grandpa?
I've not seen that.
So
I would want to see that.
Our pageants have that. The reason why we are doing that is because we want to use the pageantry to promote peace. You can't just say peace. It's not abstract. It has to be real. So if you are passing a message, every member of the family needs to be included.
Yeah.
We've actually talked about women, we've talked about girls, we've talked about as a girl child empowerment, we've talked about children, but we have not really talked about the family units.
Okay.
And then the family is the foundation of peace and even conflicts.
Exactly.
So if there is conflict in the nation, if you trace it very well, it's coming from the home. So where the home is unstable or children are not living in an environment that is peaceful, it will always reflect in the neighborhood, the community, before you start talking about the nation. So in our pageant, we have included that as a major aspect of promoting peace within the family.
Okay, let's talk about your peace works. I'm sure you must have carried out some of your activities. We want to know what you have done.
Absolutely. We have been working on this for the past 5 years. And then last year, September, was the very first time that it was unveiled at the United Nations House here in Nigeria, because we have an official endorsement from the United Nations Women.
Wow.
And then for the very first time, our Global Advocate of Peace flag was unveiled at the UN House with other United Nations agency. And then we have the mandate to activate peace clusters across families, beginning from the family to different communities and the nations. So currently, we have over 78 peace cluster coordinators spread across 9 countries. And then in Nigeria, we have about 8 states that have been activated.
Wow, that's massive. That's massive.
So in Nigeria, Kano states have hosted for the first time. Kano have hosted and had, all their, because we have our coordinator in Kano, we have in Port Harcourt, we have in Delta, in Edo, we have in Nasarawa, and then for other countries, Kenya have already hosted, Ghana is on the way, and then in the US, we have in North Carolina, we have in Maryland, we have in Texas, and also in New York.
Wow. Good.
So in a lot of countries, people are really embracing this because it's actually the very first time that we're bringing peace to reality, because we are taking peace.
Let me cut you there. Peace to reality.
Yes.
Let's get to see it mentally. Let the viewers see how is that done? How did you do it?
Because we are going to the foundation. The foundation is the family.
Okay.
So our strategy.
So is it that you are going from house to house? How are you doing it? And how do you choose which house to go?
No. First of all, you are here, and you are a peace advocate, and you're coming from a family. So the mandate is to raise the peace flag in your home. So when you take the message to your home, your wife, your extended family relation, your children, the teenagers at home will have to. So it's not just, preaching peace as an individual or talking about peace in different conferences. That's where you have different families coming together.
Okay.
But we are taking the message to the home.
Okay.
So where all the teenagers and members of the home are being taught, because we have created curriculum around peace building processes, and every member of the family is involved.
Are you succeeding?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. For us to have over that number of coordinators spread across every communities, that's a lot of numbers within the space of 4 months. So every member of the home, in fact, I wanted to bring this because there is one of our coordinator that have been having serious issues with her family member. But because she has been entrusted as a peace cluster coordinator, it has brought about peace in that family. So that's what we're talking about. So we are done talking about peace in conferences, in seminars and all that. Let us bring it within the family, within the church, within the mosques, within even the staff members of an organization or a company. So it's not just an outside thing. And then currently, just to add to how we are succeeding, we have activated about 4 peace cluster clubs in primary and secondary schools in Enugu State. And then 2 is coming up in Abuja here. And the ones in Kenya is also on the way. So you can see that we're not just talking about family, because families have been activated. Once we have one person, we have already gotten the family. And we have our peace series trainings that goes on once in a month. So it's not just talking, we're acting. And everybody is involved.
Yes. Laudable, interesting, encouraging. But then the root cause of violence, absence of peace. What are you doing about it? What are those things that are not in place that is putting you in a situation where you are letting families know that they need peace?
Yes, one of the challenges to peace is unemployment and economic instability. So from our angle, from our strategy, when we talk about peace, there must be some empowerment that goes to the family, because that's where the peace and the conflict come from. So what we have tried to do, we are also calling on organizations, the government, to also start creating policies that affect the family. So when we're having our empowerment, it's not just empowering the women or the children or the youth. It is targeted to the family, because when that family is empowered economically, the family will be stable, society will be happy. So it's our own way of highlighting the challenges of families, what families are going through, to make sure that everybody is involved, not just women separately, not just men, not just the girls, but the family. So when activities or programs or employment is going on, we should also consider the family, because once you're empowering one person, you're also empowering the family.
Exactly. There's an interesting question here that's taking you back to pageantry. We don't talk peace now, Taya. Let's talk about the question here is a very interesting one. How do you balance glamour of pageantry and the serious responsibility of preaching peace?
Oh, okay. For me, I think it comes naturally, because I believe that I was born to do this.
Okay.
Yes, and then I also want to leave a legacy in the pageant industry in the world. So that responsibility is on my shoulders, to make sure that every pageant contestants or winners or pageant organizations to see beyond just physical attributes or physical appearance as per when it has to do with beauty. but the content, who you really are, and your purpose, and what you are called to do in the society, that should be the major focus, because that's where the main responsibility is. Like you were asking earlier, you know, most of our beauty pageant queens that have reigned, you know, some of their pet projects are not coming to light because there is no depth. So it's one of the aspects that I'm also feeling, to make sure that every beauty pageant contestant is actually doing what they are called to do in the area of their strength and their calling.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
It's my pleasure.
We've learned a lot. We wish you well, and may your dreams come true for the betterment of our country and the world.
Exactly.
Do you watch movies? Do you love movies?
Yes, I do.
Which have you watched recently?
I think it's behind the scene.
Oh, Nigerian movie. That's where we're going to. That's where we're going to now. Okay, the program is Your Weekend. Now it's time for us to talk movies.